Hi, welcome back to Easy Moto Tim. After the rousing success of my last video, in which I showed you how I installed an air horn on my Triumph trophy, I thought it might be fun to show you how I removed the plastic skin from my bike. I've already taken off the skin on the right side of the bike. I did that to install the horn. I begin the process by using the key to unlock the passenger seat. Then remove the seat and stow it. The next step is to remove this piece of plastic. There are 4 screws, 2 here and 2 up here. This goes around the tank filler, so that comes off second. Next, I take off the crash bars. They attach to a bracket that goes through the space behind the radiator with 2 screws, and they attach to the shaft that holds the rear end of the engine. On the right hand side, the bracket is slotted, and after removing the 2 screws, it slides out. So you can see it's fork mounted, comes out. On the left side of the bike, the bolt nut has to come off in order to remove the left engine bracket. The nut is a 17 millimeter diameter, and the head on the right side is 14 millimeter. You have to be kind of a contortionist in order to hold the bolt head steady while removing the nut. After removing the nut, then you have to remove these 2 screws, which have a 6 millimeter Allen head. Now I can begin to remove all the bits of plastic. I start here on the aft end. There are 2 screws to remove this plate here. All of the screws that hold the plastic on have 5 millimeter Allen heads. The next piece to remove is the screw that goes here that holds the 2 halves together. You can't get the entire side fairing off until a whole lot of other pieces are removed. The next step is to remove the little cubby hole. This cubby hole or compartment has an electric locking latch. So you have to remember to leave the door open after you take it out, so you can get the screw that's in there back in. In this compartment there's a USB port and a 12-volt American outlet, of all things. So you should be able to put a small phone in there and keep it charged. My Galaxy Note 3 with the OtterBox is just way too big. So removing that compartment was just to be able to get to this screw here, which holds the left side fairing on, one of the many. Down below here is a piece of plastic that pulls out, revealing this screw here that has to be removed. And underneath here is a screw at the bottom that has to be removed. The oil filter is here. Now that this much is loosened, I could probably pull it out to remove the oil filter, but there's not a lot of space. And I'm going to continue to take off this whole left side. In the wheel well, there are some baffles that need to be removed. This is the first one. It's horizontal. It sits up under here, and that device is the temperature sensor. Then there are panels on each side that have to come off because they reveal some screws as well. So this is the panel on the left side of the wheel well. This indentation here is where the overflow bottle of the antifreeze sits, so you can see whether the level is proper or not. There are two screws at the bottom that go through both halves, and I've already removed those two. Then there's this V-shape piece, it's triangular, that has to come out. That holds, and it's another brace between the two halves. The next screw to come off is here on top. While I'm here, notice this black plastic tab that's in this silver slot. That is the first thing you use to hold the skin on. And then when you're taking it off, you slide it over and take it out of that tab. Now this is fun. The mirror pulls out like this to reveal a screw in here which holds in this part with the turn signal. In here I disconnect the wire to the turn signal, and then I can remove this screw. Inside here there's also another screw that has to come out, and once the screw is out, then the turn signal assembly comes out. And in here, there's a screw. And then this piece comes out. And you know, there are two screws here that have to come out. And one here. After these two screws are removed, then this piece comes off. We're getting there. I'll remove this one. Okay, I think I have all the screws removed. The next step is to remove the side panel. There's a tab in the slot here that helps hold it on temporarily, and the one up above I showed you. And just a matter of pulling up and pushing in, and then it will to release those tabs. And there you have it. Successful removal of the left skin. Now I have unobstructed access to the oil filter to be able to get a wrench on it and pull it out. The oil filler is over here on the right side, and that's never covered by plastic. That's easy to get to. And the drain plug under the engine is in the middle. That's easy to get to. Now the oil sight glass is here, and there's a hole in the plastic here that you can use to look through and see if the oil is okay. But it takes two people, one to hold it up and level, and another one with a flashlight to look in and see if the oil is in the middle of the sight glass. So that's the process of removing the skin on one side of the bike. It's just about the same on the other side, the difference being there isn't a compartment on the right side. On the right side where this compartment is, there is where the battery sits. All right, I'll catch you next time.